let's talk business. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rachel and you're watching Unscripted Rachel. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing a few things that I love about Dartmouth. If you don't know, I am a senior at Dartmouth, and Dartmouth has been my home for the past four or maybe 3.5 years. And I feel like it's only fair that I create a tribute video because freshman year me did not know what she was getting herself into. But I feel like Dartmouth is such a special place to me because I've been able to grow spiritually, just like mature a lot as a person, and also learn so many different life lessons that I feel like if I had gone anywhere else for college, I would have not gotten the same experience. People do say college is college regardless of where you go, but I feel like Dartmouth is just such a special place to me, and I kind of talk about some of the few reasons why Dartmouth is so special and what makes Dartmouth my home and what makes me love Dartmouth for what it is. I did make sure to put everything on my computer that I want to talk about because it's a lot, but it's a lot of things that I want to talk about. However, I had to unfortunately tailor that to just 5 or 6 reasons because I don't want this video to be too long. Reason number 1 as to why I love Dartmouth and why I call it my home, it's because of the community. Dartmouth's community is so unique in so many different special ways, especially just not only from my friend group, but also just the overall community of Dartmouth. I feel like the admission officers do such a great job by getting everyone from literally every single corner of the world at this little college in the middle of nowhere, and all of us somehow like each other. I personally don't know how they do it. It's just crazy. So when it comes to the community here at Dartmouth, like I mentioned, it's a really tiny liberal arts college in Hanover, New Hampshire. However, I have been able to find really amazing people that have so many different skills. They're very talented in so many different areas of life. One of my best friends, he sings. He's such a great singer. I have another best friend who's just really great at advocating for mental health. And so you have these people that are so passionate about so many things across so many disciplines, and so spending time with them honestly is never a dull moment because we all just enrich each other and empower each other in ways that I could have never imagined at all. At Dartmouth, we take meals very seriously. When people tell you, or when someone tells you, oh my god, would you get a meal, they're gonna text you and create a Google Calendar invite to make sure that you guys get the meal. For example, one of my best friends and we have been getting our meals since our freshman fall. This was 2022, and we always get lunch together. If not lunch, dinner, but we always try to make an effort to get lunch together. And so we have been getting lunch since then, and now it's 2025 senior fall, and we're still getting meals together. I find that to be a very special thing, and I find that to be something that keeps me going, and I always look forward to that every single week because I know that I'm gonna see her every single day. And when school gets so busy, when school gets so chaotic, I know that at the end of the day I'm still gonna meet up with my friend, eat together, laugh and whatnot. For example, on the meal thing, I wasn't able to make it to one of her meals this week because I had an hour and 30-minute presentation that I was prepping for, and I was tweaking really hard. And so I told her, hey, I texted her really late at night, which I should have not done that, but I honestly was going through it. I was fighting for my life, so I was like, hey, I don't think I can make it to lunch. And genuinely, she was upset with reason because I had no business canceling lunch. I was stressed, but at the same time, I should have really not canceled on her because that was just foul for me to do. Even in my classrooms, oftentimes our class sizes are typically really small. And so you have the opportunity of meeting so many different people. For example, I was taking classes this past summer. I met a friend from Greece. She's such an amazing human being. And not only that, but also there was a kid from Alaska in the same class. And so every time I go into a new class each term, I'm always expecting to see so many different characters from literally everywhere. And I feel like that's one of the things that also makes Dartmouth's community so beautiful because it's so diverse, not only in terms of just race, but it's not really diverse in terms of race. Let me rephrase that, but it's diverse in terms of different cultures and just like so many different people from all over, literally every freaking where. And I truly take pride and I truly find that to be something that's really beautiful and very unique to Dartmouth. Moving on to reason number 2 why I love Dartmouth, professors. I know it's such a controversial thing to say, but let me cook. So I think our professors here, every single one of them is insanely brilliant. and they are overly educated, which can be both a good and a bad thing, but I'm only going to focus on the positive because that's what this video is for. But my professors, honestly, every time they open their mouth to speak, I'm always like, wow. I'm always genuinely mind blown by how they encompass so much knowledge in their tiny brains. And it's like every single time that I go to class or office hours, it's never a dull moment because I'm always growing as a scholar, always growing as a person, and they always have some insight to life that they have to offer me. And I just find that so beautiful because they are truly training the next generations of lawyers, whatever, and they do such a great job at it. And for context, I am an anthropology modified with global health major with a minor in African American studies on the pre-health track. So meaning I've been able to take a wide variety of classes in so many different departments at Dartmouth, whether it's in their chem department, bio, math, anthropology, engineering. So I truly have circled around and I've met so many different characters and professors. And I truly find that they all have just been so amazing. They're either really smart to teach or really smart and really great at teaching. Literally no in between. But at the end of the day, all of them still have that sense and that duty of being a guider and a mentor, because some class sizes are always typically big. These are always the STEM classes because everyone needs those classes for some reason. But I typically still am able to connect with these professors through office hours. And even if you can't make their office hours, they always have some other availability that you can try to cater to your schedule and try to schedule with them in order for you to meet. And I personally find that to be just very intentional, and I truly find that to also just be something very special that I would have not gotten if I had went elsewhere. Because also Dartmouth has this incentive that you get to take your professor to lunch at Hanover Inn. It's a hotel near campus. It has a restaurant called Pine Restaurant, and Pine serves some really great delicious food. And so every single time that you take a class, I think you get, every term you get one voucher. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you get one voucher to take one professor to lunch. And when you take them to lunch, you talk about life. I have personally never done it. I always want to do it, but the term system is really quick. Literally, day one of week one, you already have so much to do. But that's another great way that Dartmouth really encourages its professors to get to know students. I did mention that I'm a STEM major, but I also study literature. I also study history, whatever. It also just comes down to the course offerings that Dartmouth offers. And Dartmouth has something called distributives that force everyone to take classes in different departments that we offer despite of your major. So either way, you will be exposed to these amazing course offerings that we have to offer. And I personally take pride and joy in that, because if I had never, for example, taken an acting class last fall, right now I'm taking a films, art, culture, anthropological class where we're exploring media through a perspective of an anthropologist, and he happened to live in Ghana for some years, and then now he's in New York. He works with New York Fashion Week. So you have these professors that are just like insane amount of life experience that they have. So yeah, that's one that I also wanted to highlight when it came to the course offerings that Dartmouth has to offer. Forward, reason number 3 as to why I love Dartmouth, I want to say Dartmouth dining. This is a hot take, but I love Dartmouth dining. I feel like we have such a great range and variety of food that we offer. I'm saying as if I work for Dartmouth Dining. I don't work for Dartmouth Dining, but we have amazing different food menus and just different things that we cater to. For example, FOCO, or Class of 1958 Commons. It's the biggest cafeteria on campus that when you go there, you literally see everyone and everything. But that's besides the point. In FOCO, there's the kosher station that caters to a lot of Jewish diets. We have the A9 station that caters to all the different 9 allergies that are known. We have the, what else? We have the sandwich station, we have the vegetarian, we have a grill station, we have pizza, we have, it's just so much that Dartmouth Dining has to offer through FOCO. And not only FOCO, it's not the only dining on campus. We also have Collis, we have the Hob, we have, and also other small cafes, for example, Novak, The Fern, all of those. So these are just so many different options that Dartmouth Dining offers for students on campus, where you can pretty much eat anywhere. And I feel like because Hanover is such a deserted town, oftentimes, not oftentimes, most of, or all all the time, these restaurants and stores oftentimes tend to close really early. By 5 p.m. they start closing down, which I find to be pretty insane. However, Dartmouth has something called late night. It opens at 9:30 p.m. and closes at around 2 a.m. or so. So it's a pretty great job to try to adapt to the fact that students don't really have that many options in town to go out and eat, and so it tries its best to offer us late night. But yeah, I remember my friend and I freshman year, we used to study in FOCO, and also during winter especially. FOCO has these heaters that are really warm on the light side, well, dark side. Also, FOCO is divided in three sections. There's dark side, light side, and upstairs FOCO. I personally like being on the dark side of FOCO. I don't know, it's just something about being on that side that just has so much aura. I mean, come on. But yeah, we used to study in FOCO, literally spent hours up in that place. Heaven knows why. I don't know. We just really enjoyed FOCO, and we just never left the second we went in there, especially with the heater. And we just cuddle up next to the heater, just vibe with it. I don't know, that was kind of weird, but hey, we survived and we learned. Reason number 4 as to why I love Dartmouth, it's the housing system. I know, it's another controversial take, but let me cook. The reason why I love Dartmouth housing, it's because every single person that's taking a class, or if you say on your D plane that you're on, it means you're gonna get housing. Is it gonna be the greatest housing? No, because I have heard other students from other colleges or universities that genuinely cannot get housing because the college doesn't have housing to offer them. But Dartmouth has housing to offer every single person if you apply on time, obviously, duh. But you still have a place to stay. You know, it's not going to be the greatest. Some other housing options that Dartmouth has to offer are not the greatest, but at the end of the day ends and you still have somewhere to put your head at night. So it's not like they're trying to mess you up or screw you over. They are going to provide you with housing, but is it going to be the greatest? No. But I think it's still something great that at least they get to house every single student that's on taking classes. So yeah, reason number 5 as to why I love Dartmouth, and I think that's gonna be my final reason. I think it's just how the student body is very involved in extracurriculars and sports. Our school is very athletic, not gonna lie. Every single person that you see walking, they're either insanely built or just built really athletically. And I think the reason is because we're such a small school, but also a lot of our students are very much on D1 teams or whatever. But not only that, the people that are not on D1 teams that do extracurriculars, for example, I'm a co-captain of a dance group on campus. I take that so seriously. And I feel like it's also just part of the culture. Everyone is expected to take their extracurriculars seriously. For example, we had auditions 2 weeks ago, Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on both days. It was insane, it was crazy, but that's the expectation of what you're supposed to be doing if you're running a dance group on campus. The same thing with a cappella groups. They also had auditions, they were insane. They had deliberations for the whole entire night. These people did not go to sleep. So, and also every single person that's involved in their extracurricular is insanely talented at it. I like to think I'm somewhat of a good dancer, but others are great dancers. For example, the other dancers on this campus, not even trying to shade on my dance groups, I think we're also really great, but the other dance groups too, they do such an amazing job in just their choreographing and everything. It's so great, and every single time that I go to these performances, I'm always gagged. I'm like, dang, y'all really did that, putting on a show. It's crazy. Here, things are very competitive in the best way possible, obviously. But yeah, so those were the few reasons why I love Dartmouth. My little tribute video to my perfect college on the hill. Actually, is it perfect? Not really, but you know, it gets the job done. Also, I wore this outfit at my matriculation at Dartmouth. It even has my pin that says D26, so which is why I only felt it was right for me to wear this outfit for this video, because why not? Anyways, apart from that, thank you guys so much for watching. I will be seeing you in the next YouTube video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You know the vibes. I'm also on TikTok and YouTube at Unscripted Rachel, where I post my little short form content of my outfits, because I also love fashion. A girl loves fashion. See y'all later.
Riding in that coupe with the wings, going to Thailand with them chains.